Listen, you can say what you want about Teofimo Lopez. Sure, he went the distance with Steve Claggett. Sure, sometimes he gives the most cringe-worthy post-fight interviews, and sure, his face is all fucked up after a lot of his fights. But one thing you can't say about Teofimo to take over Lopez is he ducks smoke or he's afraid to take risks, because that would be far from the truth. This is the same guy who defeated Vasyl Lomachenko at his peak to unify the titles at 135. This is the same guy who moved up to 140 and defeated Josh Taylor to become unified champion at the super lightweight division. Sure, he might be reaching when calling out the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford, but in the same breath, Crawford is the newly 154-pounder who is calling out a 168-pound Canelo, and that works both ways whether you believe the caliber of fighter is on a different level or not. So anyone trying to knock Teofimo for calling out Isaac Pitbull Cruz has no right at all, to be honest, because by Teofimo being the lineal WBO super lightweight world champion, calling out Pitbull, who is the current super lightweight WBA world champion, that basically lets us know that Lopez is willing to give us marquee matchups every now and then, especially against opposition most aren't in a rush to take on. So we have to respect him for being a fighting champion and calling out who some might consider the new boogeyman or animal at said weight class. The only problem I see here is that although Teo was quick to call out Pitbull after his victory over Steve Claggett, Teofimo already went on record about a week in advance to let everyone know that Pitbull Cruz and his team recently turned down a fight with Lopez in hopes that they could land a rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis. I mean, no one had any idea this went on. This came straight from the horse's mouth that is Teofimo Lopez. Like, I get the gesture, and I understand Lopez rather put him on the spot in an attempt to apply pressure, but I'm sure he knows like we know that Pitbull isn't just gonna change his mind overnight, dog. No matter how strategic the chess move of calling him out in front of the world was. Plus, we must remember that Cruz is set to face Jose El Rayo on the Riyadh season fight card come August, meaning we still have to see who's victorious in that bout, because that's also a fight that may be better than anticipated, and depending on if Cruz unsuccessfully or successfully defends his WBA world title, the landscape just might change again, with the victor being a guy who actually got the best of Teofimo in sparring just a few years ago. Now, does that mean Pitbull will lose to El Rayo? Absolutely not. But this is boxing, the theater of the unexpected, and you just can never know for sure. Pop off.